All right, today we are diving into a really, really wild idea. It's a theory that says everything we think we know about the universe, I'm talking gravity, time, all of it, might actually be built on a foundation of pure, simple disorder. It's a huge claim, so let's get into it. I mean, stop and think about that for a second. What is all this stuff actually made of? For centuries, physicists have been on this epic quest to find the ultimate building block of everything. You hear about strings, you hear about spacetime, but what if it's something we've been looking at all along, just in the wrong way? The theory we're digging into today, which is John Onimisi Obidi's theory of entropicity, doesn't just give us a new potential answer. No, it suggests a foundation for reality that is so different, it basically flips conventional physics completely upside down. Okay, so to get our heads around this, we have to start where all physics begins, with the basic stuff that makes up the entire universe. And the theory of entropicity, or ToE, it proposes a brand new candidate for this universal substrate. So most of us probably remember hearing about entropy in science class. It's usually explained as a measure of messiness, right? You have a neat ice cube, it melts into a messy puddle of water, and we say entropy has increased. It's always seen as a result, an outcome of the laws of physics doing their thing. And here is where your brain has to do a complete 180. This is the core question of the theory. What if the universe isn't just getting more disordered over time? But what if the universe is fundamentally made of disorder itself? Let's really explore what this means. Because if entropy isn't the effect, but the source, the ultimate cause, then what does that do to, well, everything else we thought we knew? This shift it's monumental. Think about it. For hundreds of years, physics has basically treated entropy like a side effect, just a number that tells you how messy things are. ToE comes along and says, nope, you've got it backward. The very laws of physics that we observe, gravity, thermodynamics, the whole shebang, they don't create entropy. They emerge from. So here's the crucial part. The theory takes entropy and gives it a major promotion. In the fancy lingo, it gives it primary ontology. But in plain English, that just means it's not an abstract idea or a measurement anymore. In this view, entropy is a real physical thing, a kind of entropic field that's the actual stage for the entire universe. Okay, so if this entropic field is the real deal, what does that mean for our most fundamental concepts? Little things like space, time, and gravity. Well, they don't just get an update, they get a complete and total rewrite. Let's take gravity. Get this. Instead of some mysterious force that's pulling you down, picture this entropic field, like a vast, invisible landscape. When you have a lot of mass, like a planet, it creates a steep dip or a slope in that landscape. So, what we call gravity? It's just the natural tendency for things to roll downhill along these entropic slopes. It's not a pull, it's a flow. And then there's time. A lot of modern physics kind of treats the arrow of time, the fact that time only goes forward, as a bit of an illusion. It's just that it's way, way more likely for things to get messier. But in ToE, it is no illusion. The arrow of time is absolutely real and fundamental to reality because it's defined by the one-way, irreversible flow of entropy itself. I mean, just look at this comparison. It really puts it all in perspective. Space-time goes from being the stage to just being a property that pops out of the field. Gravity goes from being a force to just an effect. And time's arrow goes from being a statistical trick to a fundamental law. It's a whole new rule book for the cosmos. Now, the ambition here is not small. This isn't just about describing gravity or time in a way. The goal here is much, much bigger. We're talking about the holy grail of physics, a genuine theory of everything. And that's the ultimate prize, right? To find that one single elegant idea that ties all of fundamental physics together. From the absolute smallest quantum particle to the biggest superclusters of galaxies, one framework to explain it all. So, the theory of entropicity sets out to unite these four huge pillars of science. It suggests that thermodynamics, Einstein's relativity, all the weirdness of quantum mechanics, and even information theory, they aren't separate subjects. They're just different dialects of the exact same fundamental language, the language of entropy. This quote from the theory's source material just captures the whole grand vision perfectly. It's this incredible picture of a universe that isn't just running on a set of fixed static laws, but is an active dynamic system that's literally creating its own rules as it goes along. So let's bring this all back down to Earth. What would it actually mean to live in a universe that's built on entropy? What does this imply for the reality we experience every single day? Well, for one thing, this theory points towards a more objective reality. You know how some quantum theories suggest that the observer can influence the outcome? ToE kind of says no. The entropic field is the boss, and it governs everything. So things like time slowing down near a black hole, that's not just relative to you. It's a real physical change happening to the fabric of the universe itself. And what about keeping cause and effect in the right order? Well, ToE protects causality with a cool principle, sometimes called the no rush theorem. It reimagines the speed of light. It's not just how fast light travels, it's the absolute maximum speed limit for the entropic field to reorganize itself. Nothing in the universe can go faster because reality itself can't rearrange any quicker. So here's where we land. If this is right, we're not just floating around in some random cosmos. We are an integral part of a vast self-organizing system that is moving irreversibly in one direction, forward. And that leaves you with a pretty profound question to chew on. What does that really imply about us, about consciousness, about our place in this whole grand entropic scheme?